Okay, let's go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to summary video for multiplayer game number 144. So, spoiler alert, if you do not want to know how the game went, do not watch this video and go to the link here where the actual game starts. But if you do want to know how the game went, so you can decide if you want to watch the game or not, or you already watched the game, so and you want to hear me storycraft a little bit, a long time after the actual game, or you just only watch summaries of the games because you don't have time to watch the games anyways, then I invite you to watch this video. So this game was played on 19th September, of course with the NQMod and Hellbrazer's map script. Thank you very much, guys. Fruitstrike and Hellbrazer as usual. And I've got in this game Mr. Ferry playing as China, Mr. Yannick playing as Germany, Mr. Predator playing as I don't know who, Mr. Axiom X playing as Denmark, and Shumi Nater playing as England. And I rolled Japan one more time. So this is my starting location. And you know, those moments when you're in a game and there's also England in the game and you're like thinking, oh boy, I don't want to be on the coast. I don't want to be on the coast, never ever, when there's England in the game, right? So I kind of don't like the coastal option in here, especially that I do see a mountain in the back. A mountain in the back, a fairly decent mountain. I'm like, it's not like super great mountain, don't get me wrong, but it's a mountain. It's away from the coast, and like you're probably like, okay, but like why would you not, like, cargo ships are awesome, right? Yeah, they are awesome, but the problem with England in the mod is like, first of all, frigates are weaker overall. That I don't like this change, for example, myself. Me personally, I don't like this change. But ships of the lines are stronger than frigates, though you could potentially, you know, like kill ships of the line with frigates. You can theoretically defend with frigates against ships of the line, but there's the other side of the story. You cannot attack England with frigates. And this is why I hate going on coast. There was like one game in the mod where this actually happened, and like Shumi was England on coast, and I did go like frigates and I tried to do something. It doesn't work. Frigates are so weak in the mod that crossbows destroy them and longbows just like annihilate them, literally. So for me, that's like, there's no basically sense into going into coast if you have, of course, the option not going into the coast, because first of all, you can skip all the naval techs and you don't have to worry about ships of the line. You only have to worry about longbows. And if you do want to go like coastal and you want to go frigates, you can't really attack with frigates. You can't really like attack with frigates into. You can't really attack with frigates into England, where the English player is actually on the similar level than you. This is just not possible. This is like my personal opinion on the subject. Give me a second. So this is like my opinion on that, and I decided like, no, screw this. I'm moving away from the coast. I don't want to deal with Shumi's, England, whatever. Can I see my capital, please? Okay, so this is my spot. This is my spot, and I like this spot. This is a pretty decent capital. Really decent capital. It's on a mountain. It has 3 granary resources. It's on a river. It has access to 3 stable resources, a no amount of horses, and a little bit of freshwater farms, right? Like hills. Not super great, but not bad as well. And most importantly, it's on a mountain. So in this particular game, I was like, I experimented so much. Let's just like do, you know, like the cutie cutter stuff this time in this particular game. So tradition, aesthetics, rationalism, freedom, you know, boring. Alright, so without spoiling too much, this is a very boring game. This is a very boring game, like really boring, but it just like it's a prime example of how good in particular situation with particular land, tradition into aesthetics, into rationalism, into freedom is. This is just, if you want to have a space victory, this is the way to go. This is just the way to go. So let's just move forward a little bit. There's really not too much to talk about because, you know, like, you know, tradition. So spam settlers, grab some workers, build up some workers, and this is basically like my land. This is all my land that interests me, right? My capital has, it's a really good capital, don't get me wrong. I've seen better capitals, but it's not the point. It's a very good capital, and it's a capital on a mountain, right? And this land is like, maybe not like excellent tradition land, but it's good enough. And the most important stuff for mountain cities, alright? So I've got gems, I've got dice. There's like probably access to one more spot. I think there's like one more luxury somewhere in there. I've got incense, I've got salt, and I've got Old Faithful. So I believe I'm gonna have access to 6.5 resource for 4 tradition cities. And the strat is like a little bit of map control, and now you can see like the first thing that I built, which is like something that this is like something that I really like to do, is like I build workers. Like my capital is building settlers. I think I stole one worker, and like the first thing that I build in my new cities is like a worker. So like the build order is sort of like a, you know, worker, granary, library, let's go and see, let's go universities, and then like fill out all of that stuff, focusing a little bit on hammers and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna plant one more city around this place, and which turn do I really want to skip into to like chat about what's going on? Let's try to find turn 100. Okay, let's stay up in here for now. So NC turns 63. Okay, with this land, this is like NC turns 63. This is my empire. Okay, this is my empire. I will probably get the copper later on in here. Now, this plant in here, Guangzhou, does not make absolutely no sense. Oh, Predator is playing Siam, right? So this is how the map looks. I'm here on the edge of the map with my 4-city tradition mountains. My tradition mountain empire, a really good land, really good tradition land. Might be like I said, like not super amazing, but really good. Denmark is here with a little bit of a gap around the place, not really like threatening. Okay, I've got Chukos on the south, but at the same time next to Chukos is Shumi with monk bows, right? Siam is somewhere in here doing some strange stuff, and Yannick with Germany is around here also doing some strange stuff. And there's literally nothing going on except Mr. Axiom X. This guy is a cheater. Just wanted to point that out. And there's like a slim video, short video that I'm going to show you later on, but this guy is a cheater. And I didn't know this, of course, in here. We figured that out, you know, like after the finishing screen, that this guy is a cheater. And I have no idea how did he do it, but we know what he did actually, but we don't know how. But anyways, like, he's like messaging, I'm fucked already with this terrain, like, the game's just killing him and so on. So like, okay, let him do what he wants. Like, China is here, I don't want to do anything to China because I don't want to be next to Shumi. To be fair and square, I don't want to do anything in this game, I just want a SimCity. This is like a SimCity game for me, right? This is like full 100% cookie cutter SimCity game. So NC turned 63, that's not a bad timing, right? This is really not a bad timing for cities planted on mountains. I think this is even on the river, by the way. So all the cities on the rivers, a lot of good stuff in here. So let's just skip into like turn 100. I'm gonna just skip into turn 100. Where is turn 100? Yeah, tributing, building a little bit of stuff, and so on and so forth. I'm like, I had really decent amount of hammers. As I said, I was like going, you know, workers, granary, libraries, but then later like stables. You know, look at this city. This city has 3 sheeps. This city also has access to a little bit of sheep. I don't even have time to improve. Like, I don't have enough workers really for this land. Like, look at this, horses, not improved, sheep, not improved, and all of that stuff, right? I do believe I also have a religion. I don't remember which religion, but I do. But let's go on to like turn 100. It should be somewhere around in here. Turn 100. Where is turn 100? The amount of science at turn 100. In comparison to the previous Japan game. Is this turn 100? God damn it, not this video. Yeah, stream might be lagging a little bit. I'm having some strange spikes. I don't think I did get Petra, by the way. So turn 100. Turn 100. God damn it, where's turn 100? Reload. Reload. There we go, finally. Turn 100. Bam. 270 science. This is my empire at turn 100. Okay, there we go. Yep. Yes, Denmark didn't have riding turn 100. That's 100% sure. Uh-oh, misunderstanding with my wife, not good. So this is like my empire turn 100, so this is like 270 science, right? 270 science, not that bad. I do believe like I've got observatories in the mountains, like in all of my cities, or I should be getting them soon. So this is pretty not too bad, right? So let's see how the game is gonna fare off more. It's like shit tons of reloads in this game, but this is like the reason. Oh, demographics, there we go. So this is like demos. Turn 113. First food, first hammers, golden age though, of course. Shumi's having first gold. I'm keeping like first army for some unknown reason. So like, you know, stop anybody from attacking. This guy finally got writing. 32% tech, and we have 46, so this is really good, really good stuff, right? Now we got replacement for Siam, and Igor replaced Predator, and he actually crushed Yannick later on. So I'm focusing right now like still like SimCity, full SimCity. Because he was switching the tiles like on the fly, right? So scientific Tory turn 115. Scientific Tory turn 115. So let's see, when do I get research labs? How about that? Statue of Liberty, turn 124. 500 science. So not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. Research labs done in my capital, turn 130. So if Big would be here, he would say like, not too bad, Yoruus. I kinda like it. 4 cities, really big cities, on mountains, forever golden age. Forever golden age. Nice culture, everything slowly done. And research labs, turn 130. So, as I said, pretty good science game. Pretty good science game. 4 cities on mountains, really good stuff. So, science killing Germany. Denmark is doing nothing. Except you notice like he's 20% behind in science. China is not really doing too much. I think he did get the Petra in his capital. And England is like, Shumi is doing some sort of stuff. And Shumi knows that he needs to, you know, like kill me if he wants to win the game. Because he's sort of behind in science. So I believe like Shumi goes, you know, like land ships, tanks, rocket artillery and all that stuff. And yeah, this is like a textbook, as I said, this is like a textbook approach to SimCity game. This is why like I kind of wanted to post this out, because from time to time I also have a very good SimCity game, because like map favors it, surrounding favors it, and everything is like in your favor, that this works. This basically like works out pretty well. So research lab in your capital at turn 130 is really good. So Shumi is planning to go to war. Shumi of course wants to go to war. Like Igor's gonna leave, I think, after like taking Yannick. Yet he takes Yannick around turn 143. We're rocking 1k science. I don't think it's like max out yet. And this is like the last part. This is like the last part of the game. Mobile SAMs. Spaceship factories, turn 154. Because I need to build some parts. I'm building some defenses. And Shumi, they all of course declared war on me. So I'm just like, you know, building some stuff. Building some military to defend myself. A little bit of planes, spaceship factories to crank out parts. Not like going super, you know, I'm just gonna like glass cannon into space. No, I'm building up defense because I know Shumi wants to get in here. And obviously Shumi gets here eventually. Like he should be, yeah, there we go. So now this is the fun part. You remember Denmark? I'm like, you remember Denmark not having science some time ago? Well, guess what? Now he's at tanks and infantry, right? So I was so busy actually, you know, like with my game in here, trying to defend against Shumi, which he really didn't threaten me that much, you know. I used all my gold. Well, I'm hard building parts because I used my gold, you know, to like upgrade the units that I have. So that's like that part in here. I couldn't really, you know, like buy the parts, which would be faster because I was attacked like from 3 sides. Okay, China artillery, that's not a problem, but you know, like tanks and infantry, that's a lot of troops in here. But surprisingly, I don't even believe that I actually lost the city. I don't think I even lost the city. Yeah, Shumi like didn't have really the momentum to push into me. He is trying, like rocket artists and all of that stuff, but like I need to hold Tokyo for 4 turns. 4 turns. I already have all the techs that I need. If I would have gold, I would be in space already, right? But I don't have gold because I need to hard build parts. So tech-wise, I even overshoot with science. I'm already done with all the techs that I need. Already done. Probably like a couple of turns ago, I'm already done with all that stuff. But Denmark, I can hold off. His attack like didn't really like get through there. But Tokyo, I need to hold for 4 bloody turns before Shumi's gonna crush me. And he's like throwing everything at me, you know, like rocket artist, modern armor, everything in here. But thankfully, I managed to do it. It's close, like, don't get me wrong. Ah, one more thing that I wanted to show you. You remember Denmark with infantry in here? Well, he's got XCOM now. It was like, as I said, I didn't really figure out why, how, that, okay. I didn't really pay attention to his science. I like thought like, oh, he's having a horrible game that absolutely doesn't make sense, right? But like, I'm trying to hold in here. This is like the only part that I really need. 2 turns. There's no nukes in range because China can't nuke me, Denmark can't nuke me, so there's... Okay, Shumi maybe could nuke me, but he doesn't have Manhattan Project. He just goes in here with land army to destroy me. So eventually I will lose Osaka, but the part in Osaka is already done. In Tokyo, I mean. So this one is done. Osaka I didn't lose, but I did successfully manage to get this part in here. And I'm gonna buy the last part in here. Like, this is like the last turn. I'm gonna just let it play it out, so you can see what's going on. I think I just got Foreign Legions by... Yeah, I remember what I did in this game. Like, you know, like the part cost 2,200 something. And I kind of need the army still in here. So, like, my culture is so good that I actually, like... I actually, if I believe correctly, picked... let's just... Like, it's only 2 minutes 30 seconds. Let's just like let it play it out. Like, let's let it play it out. What's going on in here? I only missed one part, right? One part, but I've got so much culture that I'm just gonna go, you know, like Foreign Legions. Hey. So this is like Foreign Legions. I'm gonna sell them. I believe I'm just gonna, you know, like sell them. Because I need gold, right? Like the part is 2,260, so I'm gonna sell some stuff. I just picked Foreign Legions, so you know, like they're outdated units, so he can't really take my capital in 1 turn, and there's like no nukes around. I already have like all my stuff is like already sold, but I think I'm gonna like sell a couple of Foreign Legions or so. Yeah, I need 1 part, 2,060, but I've got a little bit of spare Foreign Legions, so let's just sell them, right? There you go. Free gold. So Legion provided me with enough gold to buy my last part, and we're going to space next turn. So turn 170 with actually being teamed by almost everyone in this game, right? Especially like Shumi. And Shumi's, you know, like tough opponent when he goes to war, especially like late in war. So he cannot literally take my capital. It's 201 combat strength. Look at the combat strength of my cities. I know like rocket artillery's crushed that stuff, obviously, but anyways, like it is still 200 combat strength city, right? So that's kind of a lot. So no nukes around, so no problem. Yeah, Tank is like saying something in the chat like before I'm gonna get nuked, but there's like no nukes in range. Shumi didn't really get nukes. I don't know if it didn't have uranium or what, but it didn't really work out that well. So GG. That was like, as I said, really like bookcase of tradition. Like Kubies, you don't see this chat in here, but Kubies like, Yoruus, are we there yet? Because when he heard we're gonna go tradition, aesthetics, rationalist, freedom, he was like, oh, this is gonna be such a boring game. so yeah, from that perspective, like on the late game was interesting, but this is like a prime example of why this combination of social policies is just so tremendously strong. Tradition, aesthetics, rationalism, freedom. it's just the way to go, especially if you have an access to like mountain cities and a lot of happiness that you can skip like Colosseums for some time and you can like go hammers. Then this is a thing of beauty, and this is exactly what happened in this particular game. So we go to space, turn 170, but what I wanted to talk about, that like, you know, extra thing that's like literally interesting around this stuff, is Mr. Denmark and his science, right? This is something that happened in here that we figure out when I was looking through the graphs. You know, like that I like to see the graphs. So this is like production pattern, and this is science, okay? And there's something fishy about those graphs, wouldn't you say? Yes, I would. Because 8k science a turn, and we were like, well, what is this? You know, like, what is this? So yeah, I was like trying to figure this out. So no, like, stream proposed stream to propose, like, okay, like, try to find the turn, because there's something had to be wrong. So like in between those turns, like something had to be wrong with Mr. Denmark, right? So we took like the time, and I'm gonna probably post this also like on YouTube. So I actually did take the time to check out like his part of the empire and what is he actually making in here. No, it's not the overflow back. It lasted for several turns. So we were like looking around in here. Which turn was it? Like, what was going on around the place? And boom! 7k science. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? 7k science. Alright, so this is like the part, you know, like 51 science from terrain. Doesn't make sense. We kind of figured out that a little bit earlier though, what's wrong in here. There's nothing wrong in this city, but there's something fishy in this particular city, right? 3,740 science from terrain. So this guy was like a literal bloody cheater, okay? No research labs built it, no nothing, right? So it's kind of fun, like that on top of, you know, actually having a very, very good game. With this, we actually have beaten a cheater in the game. We actually beaten a cheater in the game that you know, like, the guy was just like literally absolutely totally cheating for several turns. So yeah, that's like basically it for this game. So it was a really, really cool game, a really, really good example of why tradition, aesthetics, rationalist freedom works so well in a spot where you have like everything lines up perfectly. So it was a really, really cool game. So fun. If you're wondering what's up, you know, with like timings of, if you're like playing a game and you're experimenting with stuff, like you're going honor, or you're going liberty, or you're going piety, or you're going any other thing, just have it somewhere in the back of your mind that this is the timings that somebody on the other side of the map with good tradition, aesthetics, freedom game has. This is something that's like that you like have to be aware of, and I think this game shows like perfectly good timings of science. They might be better. I think I've seen better stuff going on, especially in like the recent version of the mod, but this one is definitely pretty cool. So thank you much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this summary, and if you haven't watched the game, I invite you to watch the game. The link should be somewhere around in here, to the start of the game. And see you next time. Best wishes. Yoruus out.